What up? I'm coming to you from my car with the question of the day. Were you challenged this week? Okay, so let's talk about that. So many of us, sometimes we are complacent and we're comfortable and we're hesitant to change and we're not challenging ourselves, right? We're not like going outside of our comfort zone. We're not doing that. And so were you challenged this week? You know, and it can be like, for some it can be like kind of a good or bad thing, you know. But so I want to hear from you. Comment below and let's talk about this, right? These questions are kind of your interpretation of however you want to look at it. So what is your interpretation of this question? Like, how were you challenged this week? And, you know, explain why. And come be part of this judgment-free conversation, because that's what these questions and that's what this channel is all about. It's all about supporting one another. Let's unite, not untie. So this question was brought about because this whole week, this last week, it's just, I haven't really talked about this. In fact, I don't think I've talked about it at all in any of these daily videos. It's not a secret by any means, because if you look at my social media, but I want to talk about this election, and I want to talk about, you know, the two major presidential candidates. And it's, like I said, it's not a secret of definitely of who I'm not voting for, but I want to talk about that because this question is all about being challenged. And the thing is, I feel like womanhood and not just my personal womanhood, but womanhood in general is being challenged this week. Right, a week ago today was the audio/video of the Trump Billy Bush audio of him talking about, basically insinuating sexual assault, him talking about grabbing of the pussy. And there's so many people that are like, oh, he said the word pussy. Like, it's a word, right? And that's what he said. Like, even in the second presidential debate, he's like, it's just words, people. Really, fully aware that it's words, but there's meaning and there's context to every word. And also, the word pussy, that wasn't the problem. It's not the word pussy that is the issue. It's the talking about grabbing of the pussy, about the non-consensual grabbing of the pussy. Like, that's the bigger problem. It's not the actual word pussy. It's the grabbing of the pussy. And I'm so, like, irate by this whole thing. And, you know, it came out a week ago. And first of all, why is it coming out 11 years later? Like, what is that all about? And then also, Billy Bush gets suspended from NBC, right? The man that didn't even say it, but the man that supported it, right? He's just as guilty, but he supported it and he got suspended from his job. But yet the man that said it, the man that said the grabbing of the pussy is still running for president of the United States. And so it's just infuriating. Also, this week in my classes, you know, we're talking about, in both my communication classes, we're talking about social norms, right? Like, these things that you don't think about until they're violated, until they're interrupted. And so I wanted to talk about, you know, I showed the video audio of the Billy Bush Trump, and I'd asked my students how many, you know, I have about 60 students that are attending class between the two classes, and I asked how many of them had seen the tape, had seen, like, or had heard the video, the audio, and like less than 10. I have like 60 students in my classroom on Thursday, and less than 10 had heard of this, had seen it. And it blows me away because it's so prevalent. And to tell you the truth, like, when I played it in class, it was really, like, it was jarring. And it was, I mean, I definitely warned them and I let them know, but it was definitely like, oh, you know, and it's all like, they keep saying, like, oh, it's just boys club, right? It's just it's a man's world. We are 51% of this world. 51%. It's not a man's world. Women are here too. And I'm sick and tired of us being considered second-class citizens. We are human beings, and you don't have a right to talk about my body. You do not have a right to talk about my body and grabbing body parts, whether it's my pussy or any other body part. So to answer the question, was I challenged this week? Absolutely. I'm constantly challenged. Every time I walk out the door, I never know if I'm going to get harassed, or I never know if I'm going to get assaulted. This is how it is for being a woman, and it's maddening. So was I challenged this week? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I feel like I'm challenged all the time. But I feel even now it's more prevalent because of what is going on in our presidential election. So clearly, I am not voting for Trump. Absolutely not. I'm not voting for a man that talks about my pussy like that. That's not fair. You know, and there's this talk about, like, well, you know, that was 11 years ago and he was a different person. Okay, so, but he's not, though. He's not a different person. Also, if that's the case, if that is the case, why is he then bringing up stuff about Bill Clinton, who's not even running for president, right? And that happened in like the late 90s. Why is that even being brought up? If the issue is time, if the issue is the time factor from 11 years ago, well, then why is he bringing up something about his opponent's husband who's not even running for president? So absolutely, that is my answer. I'm definitely challenged this week. Oh my goodness, yes, it's maddening. But I just needed to express that in this video. So now I want to hear from you. Comment below and come be part of this judgment-free conversation. Come support one another. And while you're here, subscribe. Come hang out with us. This is kind of a cool place to be. And invite a friend, because the more people that are part of this conversation, the sooner we can change the world. Thanks.